Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a really complex and often controversial topic: the Founding Fathers of the United States. Were they visionary heroes who forged a nation, or were they hypocrites whose actions contradicted their lofty ideals? The truth, as it often is somewhere in the middle. Let's start with the hero narrative. These were men of the Enlightenment. Thinkers like Jefferson, Madison, and Franklin who risked everything, their lives, their fortunes, their sacred honor, to challenge the most powerful empire on earth. They penned the Declaration of Independence, a revolutionary document that declared all men are created equal, endowed with unalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. They crafted the Constitution, a brilliant framework for a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. These were radical, world-changing ideas that inspired movements for freedom across the globe. For this, their courage and intellectual genius are undeniable. But then, we have to confront the paradox, the hypocrisy that lies at the heart of their story. The most glaring issue, of course, is slavery. How could men who wrote so eloquently about liberty and equality simultaneously own other human beings? Thomas Jefferson, the author of those immortal words, enslaved over 600 people throughout his lifetime. George Washington, the father of the country, was also a lifelong slaveholder. This wasn't just a blind spot, it was a fundamental contradiction that they themselves wrestled with. They knew it was wrong, yet the economic and social systems they benefited from were built on this brutal institution. Beyond slavery, their vision of the people was incredibly narrow by today's standards. Women were excluded from the political process. Native Americans were often viewed as obstacles to be removed, and only white, property-owning men could initially vote. So, when they spoke of liberty, they were speaking of liberty for a select few. So, how do we reconcile these two realities? It's not about canceling the founders or ignoring their flaws. It's about seeing them as complex, three-dimensional human beings, not marble statues. They were products of their time, but they also created ideas that transcended their time, ideas that later generations would use to expand the very definition of freedom. The struggles for abolition, for women's suffrage, and for civil rights all drew inspiration from the promises the founders made, but failed to fully keep. Viewing them as both heroes and hypocrites allows for a more honest and complete understanding of American history. It reminds us that the nation's journey toward its founding ideals has been a long, difficult, and ongoing process. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments below. It's a tough conversation, but a necessary one. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this discussion, please give it a like and subscribe for more deep dives into history. See you next time.